Good morning, y'all. Here I am again, Don with the Broke and Retired. Uh, One thing I'm clarify real quick. It's Adventures of the Broke and Retired. Some people have mistaken it for Broken Retired, which is understandable. So I just wanted to clear that up. Adventures of the Broke and Retired. Anyway, got to go through the spiel first. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. That part is not a spiel. That's just dead honesty. Thank you very much for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you find the work that I do here, the things that I post, please take the time to like, subscribe, and share. And of course, as always, don't forget to hit the don't forget pause. Sorry. Don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you know when new videos come out and you don't miss anything. I've got things I've got to do today, but I have so much fun posting these videos that I just couldn't resist doing one more. This hopefully will be just a one-part video. I want to talk about this. You see that finger? See how crooked that finger is? And no matter what I do, that's it. That's as straight as it gets. Anyway, the reason it's like that is because I've broken that finger at least 3 times, maybe 4. And of course, I could have gone to a doctor and maybe they could have fixed it to where it's not so crooked, but it's a bit late now. And, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Spread a little peanut butter on there. Be just fine. Anyway, the first time I broke it, I was working for the Honda shop in Lafayette. We were back then. 3-wheelers were a big thing, and we were building a hot rod ATC 110, which now sounds comical. Building a hot rod ATC 110, but that's what we were doing. And because we worked at the shop and the shop gave us full support, what we did was we took one out of the crate, took off all the parts we weren't going to use, put them in stock to be sold as parts, and then pulled the motor down and did all that. Went through and cut the cylinder as big as we could, put a bigger carburetor, put all kind of stuff. We put a better ignition system on it, and we put it back together. And when to start it, of course, it's an ATC 110, so it didn't have an electric start. It had a pull rope. And I reached down and grabbed out of that pull rope and gave it a good yank. And we had the timing set a little bit too high, and it fired too quickly, and it yanked the pull cord handle. It yanked it out of my hand and broke my finger. So we kind of reset it at the shop, stuck a popsicle stick in some electrical tape, and away we went. Kept on going. This is another one of those situations where I come up with something pops into my head, and I'm just going to add it in here while we're at it. The shop had 3 or 4 pretty high performance racing go-karts. And we used to stay after hours and work on the go-karts. Well, they had an accident at the go-kart track one weekend, and they came up with a new rule. The accident was the guy was flying down the straightaway. The bolts that held the master cylinder on for the rear brakes fell out, and he got to the end of the straightaway at about probably 70 miles an hour and hit the brakes to make the turn, and there was no brakes because the master cylinder had come loose. And I don't remember if the guy got hurt or anything, but it was pretty heavy duty wreck. Okay. And let's face it, on a go-kart, you ain't got a whole lot of protection. You don't have any protection at all, basically, except for helmet and leathers. But so anyway, they passed a new rule, and the rule was that every bolt on the go-kart had to have a cotter pin in it so that if it came loose, it couldn't fall off. So my job was to bring the go-karts in after hours and drill all the bolts and put a cotter pin in them. So I'm in the process of drilling all the bolts and putting a cotter in. This is not to do with this finger. This just happened to pop in my head. I bring in the go-karts to drill the bolts and put a cotter pin in them, and I'm, drilling through a bolt is not easy because they're small, and you got to hold the drill real steady. And that's what I was doing. I was holding the drill real steady, and the drill bit broke, and the drill bit went right through this finger, and I mean it went right through it. It went in right here. It was coming out the bottom, and so now I'm stuck. I've got a drill with a drill bit in it, and because of the way it went through, I can't just pull my finger off because it wants to wind up. You know what I mean? You got to follow the flutes on the drill. So I ended up having to put the drill in reverse and real careful run the drill backwards and pull my finger off that broken bit. And of course, being an invincible young man, I just put some electrical tape on it and kept on working. Now, you never know what ever happened now. But let's get back to this. So the first time was building the ATC 110 when it snatched the rope out of my head and broke my finger. Put a splint on it, wrapped it up with electrical tape, kept on going. The second time was at the Yamaha shop when I was bringing some bikes in, and we had a Grizzly 700, and we had a recoil. Battery was dead, so I figured I'd just pull the rope and start it. I don't know if it was a 700, maybe it was a 400. I don't remember now. Either way, I pulled the rope to start the motor, and it fired early and yanked the pull handle out of my hand and broke it again. That really hurt. It hurt more than the first time. And of course, what did I do? I'm an invincible young man fool. So I put a popsicle stick on it, wrapped it up with electrical tape, and away we go. But other than splinting a broken finger, I don't think there's much you can do for it anyway. The last time was the worst one of the bunch. My company got a job filling in a swimming pool. I was bringing a Bobcat. Actually, we were through with the Bobcat. I was putting it back on the trailer and gonna carry it back to the rental place. And I drove it up on the trailer, and I told the guy that was working for me to tie it down, and he was having trouble with the chain binders. Chain binders can be problematic. And I got mad because he couldn't do it. Oh, I can't do it. I got mad because he couldn't do it. And I grabbed that chain binder and just went ape on it and smashed the ever-living daylights out of this thing and broke it again. And I tell you, that one hurt big time. And right as it happened, I got the chain binder to close, it broke my finger, I reached around, grabbed my hand, I'm in pain, and the homeowner walked up. And it was natural instinct for me to turn around and shake hands with the homeowner, which I did, which squeezed my broken finger and hurt even more. And ever since then is when it's been crooked like that. Not to be gross or nothing, but when my brother saw it, what he said what concerned him was the color, because it was very, very deeply bruised, and it was pretty much black inside. And of course, I'm stupid. I didn't go to a doctor. I put a splint. I tried straightening it out. It wouldn't straighten out, but I splinted it as best I could and put some electrical tape on it. And I have some pictures. Might even have a video of doing a floor, doing a tile floor. I'm going to have to check and see if I have that video. If I do, I can't edit them together, but if I do, I'll figure out a way to put it on here. But you can see I'm doing the floor with a splint on my finger. Anyway, so just for fun, I figured I'd tell the story of how my finger got crooked. Um, as always, thank you very, very much for all of your support. Thank you so much for your comments and your subscriptions. I really appreciate it. This whole YouTube thing has gone much better than I ever thought that it would. I never could have imagined that it would be like this. And it's really it's a lot of fun to do, you know. Sitting back here talking to y'all. It's funny because the comments for me are not necessarily comments. They're more like conversation we can have. It can't get too long because it's the comment section, so you don't have much to write in there. But it's really interesting to see what you have to say and to hear some of y'all's stories, and to be able to write back. So the comments really are more like conversation than comments, I guess. But anyway, this is Don with Adventures of the Broken Retired, telling you thank you, and I'll see you on the next go round. Got the remote. Hey, don't turn it off.